Everything here is frequency, everything here is vibration, everything here is energy. Everything here starts from thought form, and that's just straight facts. You can even look back to what Napoleon Hill said in his book, Path to Personal Power, and this is cited. He says that our brain is something that resembles a radio system. When you tune into a different frequency, and you tune into a different vibration, or in this case, a radio station, you get a whole different reality, or you tune into a whole different thing. So that has to do with our belief systems and our perceptions on ourselves. When those things are high vibe, we relate and we see things that relate to that belief system. Basically, because that's what we're tuning into. We're tuning into that reality. So that's how you see everything here is constructed from our belief systems. And that's just plain as day. That right there brings me to my main point. Since everything here is vibration, energy, and frequency, that shows you that almost everything here is from sound or wavelength. And that's why the term wave is such a serious thing right now, because it's literally a wavelength. It's literally a sound. That's why the vibration is pushed and casted, and it's a trend, and it's trending upwards from the mainstream of the media, the mainstream of energy into the masses, and that thing isn't capturing people, and it's able to change their wavelength because they're not in tune with themselves. Instead, they're in tune to everything around them. So that's why we have a whole bunch of unconscious beings around here right now, not doing anything in life but being fodder. And being fodder is just like being one of them side characters in anime. Like, they literally have no real correlation to anything that's really going on. They're just sitting there with some first world problems, and they don't really care about anything else, and they're just following what everybody else has said. This goes along to karmic debts. Like, when you experience a high, you must experience a low. When you experience a low, you must experience a high. And this is the one thing that's wrong with happiness, though. Happiness, this is one thing, I'm sorry, to get a bit off track. With happiness, everybody's looking for a constant state of happiness. But the thing is, though, you can't look for a constant state of happiness. Happiness is an emotion. You can't permanently feel an emotion forever. What you should be looking for is a permanent state of contentment, where you're content and can draw the emotion of happiness from what you've done and what you've created. It's not no permanent state of happiness. That's not possible, because there's no such thing. You must experience sadness to appreciate happiness. You must experience the bad to appreciate the good. That's just how things work here. It's a balancing out. That's why there's people up the top with billions of dollars, and there's people at the bottom piss poor. It's all balance. Everything being a wavelength, that would mean that manifestation is momentum. That's why in Napoleon Hill's book, he would talk about the mastermind principle. And actually, that was Warren Buffett who talked about the mastermind principle when he did it with Andrew Carnegie, when they were creating the steel industry. When they were creating the steel industry, they had 50 people in one room. And all 50 of these people had the definite chief aim of creating the steel industry. So therefore, that was them manipulating energy and manipulating a wavelength, because they were really all there with the definite intention of bringing something. And when you act out of intention, that's the strongest thing you can do, because that's literally acting out of a vision. When you have a vision for yourself, a vision, a mental picture, because our brain doesn't know what's different between imagination and reality, because there really is no difference, because everything here started off as thought form, and doesn't matter, because it was action is what made it reality. So that's why energy is able to transfer, and energy manifests itself on this realm as physical, because nothing here is really physical. It's just vibration, and the vibration is so low that we can't go through it. If the vibrations were any higher, we could go through it, and we could go through this wall that's behind me right now. But since the vibration is so dense, we cannot. That goes to show you that everything is frequency, and now the decisions you decide to make correlate with your frequency and with your intentions and your vibration. So now, depending on what you believe in, your mind is going and finding things relating to that. And when it goes and finds things that relate to that, that's the reality that you bring in based off of your belief system. Because what goes on in our head, we have this thing called the reticular activating system. What the reticular activating system does is it basically searches and refines for everything that relates to our belief system. When these things relate to our belief system, it pops right back up at us. Because if we were to go on an Instagram or Facebook or any social media thing and literally ingest everything there, we wouldn't be able to do that, and our brain would probably explode from over processing, right? So that's why our brain conserves energy, and what it decides to do is goes and finds things that correlate all to your belief system and all to the things that you have tied into yourself. When you act from positive beliefs in yourself and you act from perception in yourself, that's when your reality changes. That's when things really do start to shift, because you're acting from a different frequency. So therefore, you're bringing in a whole different wavelength, and you have a whole new momentum. And that's why they say where attention goes, energy flows, because depending on what you decide to add attention to, because everything is always going to be balanced. It's always going to be the negatives, and it's always going to be the positives. What are you going to put your attention and energy into, though? And what are you going to focus on? Because depending on what you decide to focus on is what you see more of in your reality. And so since that's the thing, it's really up to you to decide what do you want for yourself and what do you want for the people around you, because you can't just think of you. Basically, the only way you're really going to be successful, Napoleon Hill said this too, is if other people benefit from you. That's why everything is really perception. Everything is really perception of the moment and of the situation. One person could take a perception and love it and love the situation. One person's perception could be them hating the situation, and it could be destroying them. That's why some people see failure as either learning or the end all. But it's literally learning, because failure, at least you now know what not to do, because everything here is basic alchemy. You're basically transforming one energy to another. We're all alchemists, and we all do this on a day-to-day basis. When we turn negatives into positives, that is us being magicians. That is us being what we truly are as spirit. That's what we do. It literally says it. We're human, different colors of man, we're being human. Like, it's literally right there. This is why they say when you believe in yourself, you tap into the frequency, you tap into the vibration of being able to do things. So now your brain is looking for reasons to say that, oh yeah, you are this and you are that. Or when you have a good perception of yourself, you're now coming across people that relate to that perception, and they're proving your perception. So that's why they say literally everything is believing in yourself and perception of yourself. And that's why they always say go out and do what you need to do regardless, and always respect yourself, because when you respect yourself, other people respect you. And then when you love yourself, other people love you, because it all starts inwardly. That's why they say it all starts with self-love. Everything starts from the inside, because until you can love yourself, nobody else can love you. If inwardly we think that we don't deserve respect or we don't deserve love, that's what's going to pop up outwardly. And even if somebody were to come and try to give you love, thanks to your belief and your perception that you can't get it or you don't deserve it, you're going to push them away, and now you just pushed away real love. And there might be somebody that shows you how to love yourself, but that is from the universe teaching you, because everybody goes through these lessons, and the truth is always in your face regardless of if you want to face it or not. But the thing is, though, it's never going to go away. It's only going to get louder and louder and louder. What I mean by multi-layered reality is this. Basically, in this reality, every single belief system works on a different plane and a different frequency. So depending on what you're tuned into and your belief systems is the experiences that you then have. And so what I mean by that is when Christians have a belief system and what they believe in, they have experiences regarding that. The same way that Muslims are going to have experiences regarding their religion and what they believe in the same way that every other religion is going to have experiences depending on what they believe in. That's because we live in a multi-layered reality, and lies even belief, so it doesn't matter what you believe anyway. And literally everything here is a paradox and a contradiction. Even a non-belief is a belief, because you believe that you don't believe in it. And our mind is a faculty, and we're just tapping into different frequencies. That's why we align with different people, and that's why we're able to associate with different people throughout life, because our frequencies change. And this is where cognitive dissonance is shown to be a real thing, because cognitive dissonance is when your brain takes other information, other beliefs as a physical threat. Why else would your brain take other information and other people's beliefs as a physical threat if your brain didn't construct your actual physical reality? We must not focus on the problem. We must acknowledge the problem, but then we must focus on the solution. We must focus on how do we get past the problem. Our problem doesn't limit us. Our problem only helps us. So it's on us at the end of the day. And this is where one of my personal favorite terms that I created myself comes from. It's attention, time, and energy budgeting. The same way a rich man or a businessman budgets his money, this is the way we should budget our attention, our energy, and our time. Because when you look at it, money is infinite. That means it's always being printed, it's always coming back, and it can always come back to you. Our time, our energy, and our attention cannot. That is not infinite, that is finite, that is limited amount. So that means literally every single part of our day, we should be thinking, what am I investing my energy into, and what am I doing to bring something back into my reality? What seeds am I sowing in order for me to reap later on? Because literally everything, alright, that time that you just invested in being mad and angry is time you're never getting back. You're never getting those valuable seconds back. And all those time, with all of that time, you could have been doing something completely different. Time is one of your most valuable assets. So why would you waste time on arguing, being mad, being sad? Like, yes, you must experience these emotions, but there's no point to indulge or overindulge in this sense. Because there's no reason for you to sit there and stay in that singular mindset for more than 30 minutes to an hour of reflection. Because you should be able to reflect and be able to get to the point of understanding where this emotion is coming from and what perspective it's coming from and how you could change that emotion and use it for something better. You know what I'm saying? So you instantly need to be able to switch it and know, what am I investing into, and will this benefit me, and will I benefit others through this? You know what I'm saying? Because all this is finite. So we must do as much as we can within our limited time, and we must have impact, and as much impact as we can within our limited time. And we must budget our energy and invest our energy properly and to building something and not destruction.